Uh, I was actually thinking because actually it's been a lot happening to me, and was supposed to be the best year and my happiest year this year. But actually, things are going the way that I'm not actually expecting. So I've been sick for some like 3 weeks, and I had this headache every single day, and I end up auto medicating, doing auto medication on myself, and I took a lot of things like painkillers, but they were not working. Then I had to go for a ibuprofen, but actually, and I realized that I was taking the medicine like every 3 to 4 hours because the type of headache that I had, like I was cracking. I could sometimes I could hear my veins like pulsing so much, and I work in a private hospital, so I could get even some consultation with my colleagues, my workmates, and they could propose me a different thing because at time when you're actually not feeling well, at a certain time you feel like, oh, I'm going to take a paracetamol and it's gonna feel better, and then you see that paracetamol is not working and you go for another proposal, and the thing goes on and on and on. So I was very very worried about this kind of headache. I couldn't even look outside. I couldn't even go to work, and sometimes like my workmates, they know me as a happiest person because we deal with difficult patients. So I've never ever went to work with mood swings, and people always saw me smiling. And so recently when I had this breakdown, actually it was a breakdown, everyone was like worried about me and was asking me, and I've got this red eye, or always I got the red eye in the morning or in the evening. Like I couldn't sleep, but I was sure sometime I could go to bed and I would sleep and I feel like, oh, the medicine is working. But when I wake up early in the morning, I could hardly lift up my head. So but actually I knew exactly what was really going on in my life in that time, and this time I really know that I'm not in the best situation of my life. So and I was thinking a lot, like, some things you need to share. Actually, you need to share, but I've been sharing all my situation. I've been sharing all my problem. Actually, why not sharing? Like, people would ask me because they knew, because I recently bought a house here in Italy, and it was a very very difficult process. So I was actually happy and eager to enter in this house, and at the external us I expect, and inside I expect, when we visit the house, it was like you just need to move on. But I was sure I was going to do the bathrooms and the kitchen. I needed a new kitchen, so I only had the budget for that things, but oftenly when we started like removing the kitchen, they pop up new problems, like the drainage pumps, water pumps, and the electricity pumps tubes, like where no the wiring was so exposed outside. So we get a consultation from different electricians, and they advise us to do an upgrade because we didn't have a lifesaver in the house. So living in that kind of a house with kids is so difficult, even if we have a city council control, we are actually at a risk, like the house is not capable for people to move in, no. So actually, and I said, okay, it's okay, we do the necessary things like connecting the water pumps, just changing new tubes to the kitchen, and we do only a necessary thing like to make a triple electricity lifesaver. But care comes a lot, and another lot of problems, so we actually went out of budget. And every problem that is popping up, is like it's very very important to do it as soon as possible, as long as we want to move in the house, like living with our children, or otherwise we cannot live in this house actually. So that the situation, actually, so we were trying to do with these problems, and I had to reach out for money laundries. But I can do money laundries with the bank because the interest is so much like this period. So I just live like I just like to go to people like my relatives and some people, but it seems like everyone have a difficult time, so I couldn't get that kind of help now actually. So I think that a lot was actually going on because the images of doing the job in the house is so becoming so stressful. So I was saying I could hear this, my brain, I could hear like my brain was pulsing so hard, and at the same time I couldn't take a complete sick leave because I'm afraid that I will end late. I would end less actually. So I would strive to go to work at the same time in my house. It's not even actually a comfortable. We cannot even accommodate our children. So we are actually living like to a friend's place, and they go out to the some of our relatives, like my husband's relative. So it's so difficult because we've been moving, like you drop them to school, you go and collect them to school, you drop them to a friend's house for lunch, and you have to take them and accompany them to their sports afternoon sports activities, because the little one had 4 days a week, and the other girl have 2 days a week, and then she has got the extra lessons actually, but she's big enough, she can move on her own. So I was a very disclosed person actually at work. People would ask me what is going on. I would say no, it's okay, and how's the house processes are going, and I would just like all is well, all is well. But when I started doing this auto medication, people would start, my workmates would start advise me, everyone would try a different kind of medicine, and I would like, oh, I have a lot in my brain, and I could hear actually my veins pulsing, or my brain like was pulsing. Then I was actually very worried about cerebral aneurysm, because everything, like I was vomiting sometimes because of the stress, I was vomiting because of the headache pain, and I had this nausea. So and I had to call my doctor and say, hello, I think I need to do a TAC and the doctor actually he asked me some information why it was so necessary, because that's my arm. It's so like, why are you opting for a TAC now? And I'll say like, go look, I'm going out for almost 3 weeks. I'm taking medicine, and I feel like I'm actually abusing them. I think there is more to this pain that I have in my brain. And the only thing I would check every day was my blood pressure, and everything was normal. But the pain was so, and I couldn't even support that kind of pain, and I could wait like a window hour, like you take the medicine and you have to wait for 6 hours to take another medicine. I couldn't wait actually. I would go for another one, and I had to explain to the doctor like why no, it's like this because I can't do it anymore, so I need the TAC. And he asked me some question like what is going on in your life, because every time I go to see my doctor, and maybe once a year I'll go there, I'll laugh, I'll be this kind of patient who, like, we talk, and I end up asking the doctor about how is he doing, and like I actually go to visit my doctor, and he saw this time it was so different. And on the phone, like sometimes if I call for my husband, because we have got the same doctor, I'll start like asking how he's feeling, and then now, and like a simple call to me takes like 10 minutes, because I can just go straight direct to. So he was so worried about me, and I was explaining him like, oh, that's it, that's what is going on. So I need the TAC. And he said, no, actually, is everything okay? What is going on? Then I had to tell him some of the things and say, no, actually, you need to work on yourself. But you see, if it's not working, and then I'll do the tag for you. But if you want it, I'll just sign it, and so then you can book it for it. Then I was like, okay. And that moment, I realized that I was so stressed. I was so stressed so much, and I was thinking like my brain and my head is taking a lot of information, and I received the information from the builders. I received the information from the electrician, and I have the plumber as well. Is taking a lot of it. Like every work that is so, they are every inspection that are doing in my house, it becomes an emergency for us to be a capable house to live in. So I am so stressed so much. Actually, we take a weekend off to a holiday, and I thought the weekend was going to solve our problem actually, because everything was like, no, you need to take a break, you need to take a break. Yeah, I felt so interesting, and it was so exciting. So we went to take a break, but my heart, my brain was always at home. But it's very nice because my children and my husband had a very new experience, and they enjoyed their experience actually. They learned to do sky in the snow. So it was so interesting. For the moment, I actually forget about our problems and everything. Then I was this like happy when we came back. We need to start over. And I remember when I come back, I stopped taking medicine because I don't want to say the holiday did good to me. But I stopped taking the medicine. Like I had to take the last paracetamol, because like after brufen, I have to go to diclofenac, and I have to go to injections of diclofenac, So and I just try to relax. I just try to relax and take the last paracetamol, and I said to myself, this is gonna be the last medicine that I'm taking. Actually, I'm not saying I'm not gonna take medicine for the rest of my life, but I was like, I want to start over. Then I come back. And the problems were there and still standing. It's like they were they were multiplied, the problems, because when I come back and the electrician was like, oh no, you don't have a lifesaver and you don't have electrodes, so I need to find some soil and to put the electrodes. So the electrician actually is in an emergency, like he cannot upgrade and give us a certificate for the house, even if he finished the job, because he needs to put down the earth under the ground. And surprisingly, we have a small courtyard. Like we have a small courtyard with syllab. So they had to dig up during our absence. So when I come back, like I have my courtyard with eight holes, and they were saying I've tried to dig up here. Actually, he called us and said, no, I need to dig up the courtyard. And we said, if it is necessary for your job, then go on. So he contact the builders, and they came, the builders, and dig up for 8 holes, and they didn't find the soil. So he need to go on digging up the whole courtyard. But the problem is, under the courtyard, there are some water pumps, sewage pumps, and everything. So there is high risk that these things, they are going to break. And so that's it. But I decided to affront it in a different way. This time, I just say, we are already inside, so there is no way we can pull back, and the qualification, the certificate of the electricity is very important for us, even the lifesaver, and everything like this is very important. So we said, we already in, so you do what is necessary. So you need to call out the builders, and I need to dig up this courtyard and find. But I'm just praying there shouldn't be another problems. I just hope they dig up and find the soil, because until now they couldn't find the soil, because there is cement from the ground level, and half meter they always find cement, and it's concrete, something like that. So that's it. But actually I press this button because I'm feeling much better, and I've decided to share my story with people. Don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe. So I'm going to do my videos with Italian and some few videos with English, because I speak better Italian than English now. Don't forget to subscribe, please, because I'm trying to survive. So I'll update you more of my life in Italy. Thank you.